turn left, you turn left. You want to turn an aircraft carrier left, and it takes a little bit more time. So I want to tell you a little bit about some of the things we're doing. I think the good news here is that the culture, the community realizes that what the Academy said about completing the forecast means to get into uncertainty. Now, you can say you're not moving fast enough, and I'll take that criticism because you look at every aspect of my operation, and you can say, Jack, you're not moving fast enough. And so give me that criticism, and I'll do my best to respond. Now, some things that I have seen on my watch. The first thing that we as a technical field need to realize is that decision makers, in most cases, are not meteorologists. In fact, in many cases, they're not even scientists. And so we got to get out of this mode of producing weather forecasts, and we got to get into a mode where we're providing information that's easy to understand and relevant to the decision maker. Easier said than done. When you have emergency managers, you have air traffic control managers, you have surface transportation fleet managers, you have the public. And so it's getting into the mind of the user, and it really requires me to train my workforce to cross over the line and become less meteorologists when they're out there on the front line and more, I guess I call it warning coordination meteorologists. That's what they do. And it's to understand the decision-making process, to understand where weather plays in that decision-making process, and then to communicate relevant information, not information the user doesn't need, because as soon as you get into your 10th minute of your weather forecast discussion, you've just clicked them off and said, I'm going to go somewhere else because I don't understand what I'm hearing. So to me, I would say it's recognizing that decision makers are not meteorologists. That's conclusion number one. So what does that mean we have to do? Well, I think there are notions that we are working into our plans to focus on impact-based forecasts. And so less on the meteorology, more on where does it make an impact and what information is needed to convey that impact. And then it also means communicating risk and uncertainty. I think we have the tools out there, the foundation out there with things like ensemble capabilities that provide an objective scientific basis to move out. As a meteorologist, I can infer things today when I look at ensemble output. If I gave to my son, he'd say, Dad, this looks like spaghetti. But as meteorologists, we all know when the spaghetti aligns, have a lot of confidence. And when it doesn't, you don't have a lot of confidence. And to me, that suggests I have an objective way to develop an algorithm that will allow us to communicate a number that would express uncertainty. We'll go to page 2 of my outline here. Okay, so what has happened in the 2+ years I've been in the Weather Service, we had a tornado strike into Oklahoma on Mother's Day in 2008. And we had 20-minute warning lead time on that tornado. And so I said, what happened? And I said, I want to do what I call it a mini service assessment. I didn't want a lot of media attention. I wanted to find out because I thought we did everything right at our forecast offices in Oklahoma and Kansas, yet 20 people still died. And so I sent it to them out there, and I said, I'm not sending just meteorologists out there because show you that there's action where the commitment is there. Last year, I think we did a good job with the situation in Fargo. We had been monitoring fall rainfall. The ground was saturated before it froze. We watched the winter snowfall across the northern tier. And in January, we told them that there's, I think, a 90% probability we're going to have a major flood this year. And we communicated that in probabilistic terms. Bob Ryan sent me a note until we got a week before the forecast. He was really pleased to see we were using probabilities, and then all of a sudden it became deterministic. And I said to my hydrologist, so where's my deterministic forecast? And discovered that, well, we don't have a capability to incorporate QPF information into a probabilistic model to get something objectively. So I said, we got to fix that. So I guess from my perspective, I want to assure you that we're listening and we're committed. I have a focal point on my staff and someone that I picked because she produces results at Jim, and I'm going to embarrass you, but she's nudging me all the time. I've connected to Jeff Lazo and others in the social science community to see what they can do to help me. And to me, this is the river just turned for the watershores. We are headed down a path where we are committed to completing the forecast. I don't want you to hesitate to criticize us because we're not going to move it as fast as I'd like, but we're committed. And at the end of my tenure, one of the things I'd like to be able to say is I made a contribution to get us there. So, thank you.
To see the